So this album inducted the legendary singer Matt Barlow, who in my opinion is probably easily the top 3 best metal singers of all time. He's got a deeper voice and like a lower register, but oh my god, he's so vicious with his singing. It's incredible. This album, by the way, is very dark, and I believe Jon Schaffer hates it because at this time also, forgot to mention, they were laid off after Night of the Storm Rider for a couple years because they were doing so horrible. And because they're mad at their label and they were so depressed, Jon Schaffer made these very dark and depressing and very heavy compositions that became Burnt Offerings. And wow, this album is so dark, it has that X factor to it that would easily make it a 10 out of 10 albums. This is like 1995, so the artwork features like, I think, Satan floating in this one area of hell, and it shows like Dante on the edge of this cliff, like all white looking, because he kind of stands out in the pure redness of the artwork. It looks pretty cool and very, very eerie. Now, the remaster artwork looks like complete shit. It shows like this weird, it kind of looks like, it reminds me of Born Again, but at least a little bit better. Now, another big thing I want to talk about in this review is that Jon Schaffer is kind of like the heavy metal George Lucas. So he completely remixed a lot of the songs, and some of them, one of them I'll specifically talk about on this album, which is kind of wrecked in the remaster. He even said that he was going to re-record the albums later with Tim Ripper Owens, to re-record them with Matt Barlow, which is completely stupid. That's like when George Lucas changed Boba Fett's voice from the original to the special edition. So he's like George Lucas. Burnt Offerings, which is really cool. It's got a lot of amazing singing. It completely shows off Matt Barlow's voice, and the intro's so creepy and amazing. I think, I could be wrong, but that voice at the beginning of that was like from Bram Stoker's Dracula or something. It's like an epic in a way. It's got a lot of different sections to it. What's interesting is Matt, at this point, hadn't even taken any vocal lessons. So this is all raw Matt Barlow, and it's my favorite performance of Matt Barlow. So the next song is Last December. This kind of has like a more quiet intro, and definitely another song that shows up Matt Barlow. Thrashy all the way through, and a few nice slow parts as well. The chorus is really cool as well. Every song is like raised to another level because of Matt. Jon Schaffer's writing is so cool as it is. It's so progressive and heavy, and then Matt just takes it to another level. These songs, in my opinion, are like kind of the style of Night of the Storm Rider, but also has a lot more memorable riffs to them as well, kind of like from Iced Earth, and then it has an amazing singing over top of it. Next song, Diary, starts out kind of slow. It's very weird. It does that sort of rhythm to it, and Matt just sings over top of it, and it's really heavy and cool and dark. It seems like it'd be a song where it's a lot of droning, but it's so dark and cool, and I love Diary. And the next song is maybe, it used to be my favorite, but I think another song is a little bit better now. It's called Brainwashed. The lyrics on the song are so kick-ass. I love it. But the problem is the remaster, which I own, Jon Schaffer runs this really cool part in the song where Matt starts singing, and so we begin with another sun! And it sounds really cool, but then, like, there's like these really cool melodic guitar parts over top of it, like, but then it's completely drowned in the remaster. But in the original, like, the guitar, the lead, and then the singing go together perfectly, so it sounds a little bit like droning in that part because it's gone. But at least that the riff itself with Matt singing, the lyrics are so cool that at least it's still an amazing song. With or without that part I really love. The chorus is amazing. Next song is Burning Oasis. This interestingly features some really, really high screams from Matt Barlow. I used to think it was like a backup vocalist doing those screams, but it turns out it's Matt Barlow doing it. He can scream pretty loud too. creator failure. I guess you could say it's like a filler, sort of, but it's still an amazing song. And the next song is like a little, like another 1 minute type of thing. 2 minutes actually. It's interesting because it shows off like Matt sing. This is like the only song on the album that has a beautiful type of feel to it, because the rest of them are just so dark. And this album has an amazing, creepy atmosphere to it as well. And I love albums that go above and beyond and even incorporate an atmosphere that's continuous to the whole album. That's how you know if you love it and if it's done very well. So, Pierce the Spirit, I believe it's called. It's 2 minutes of Matt singing beautifully. So it's kind of interesting at first, because it's like it doesn't really sound like the rest of the album, but it's like the kind of before the storm, I guess you could say. Dante's Inferno. If you're just kind of listening to this in the background, listen closely right now. This, as it stands, is, in my opinion, the greatest metal song of all time. I mean, you have like War Pigs and Diary of a Madman, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and all this great stuff. But this song is literally like 5 amazing songs all the way through. Like, it's just all mashed them together with this amazing brooding atmosphere through the whole thing. It has like a quiet, really creepy intro, and then it tells the entire story of Dante's Inferno, like through the plains of hell. And it's really creepy. Every lyric is incredible, and Matt sells it so well. I don't think I've ever heard Jon Schaffer write lyrics that are this good. It's very poetic, like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, where it took like the context but then reworded and made it poetic. Well, this is even better than that. Every part of it's cool. Like you'll have this slow intro, awesome riff, and then the singing, then go to a more quiet part, and then gets that heaviness going again. There's a lot of backing vocals. Like I said, this thing is one of the most atmospheric songs I've ever heard. And it just kind of fades out with these epic riffs. This song is so incredible. Check it out. It takes a couple listens to grasp just how great it is. It's not like there's an instrumental section. They'll have an instrumental part singing again, instrumental part singing again. Every part's different. End part of it, I think, is the beginning riff of Burnt Offerings, the beginning of the song.